everyone, and a huge welcome to my channel. My name is Katja, I'm CatColouring, and this video is my colored pencil collection. So in this video I will show you my coloring pencils, my entire collection of them. I have thought about how to do it. Should I do a video with wax-based and then a video with oil-based pencils, perhaps one with some watercolors, but I don't have a lot of watercolor pencils, so that would be quite a short video. And I thought that I would just show you the pencils, not by brand, because I could also do that, but then I would have to make a lot of different episodes. So I have decided to show you this with my budget pencil brands first, then the, well, a bit more pricier, but still, you know, middle priced brands, and then the really expensive brands at the end of this video. So if you just want to watch the expensive brands, then you can just, you know, flip through the video and then see that. If you just want the budget pencils, these are the pencils I will begin with. So that's up to you. I will also be making a video with my vintage pencils, because I actually have quite a lot of coloring pencils that are vintage. So that would be in a separate video shortly here on my channel. I will also do a video with my other art supplies later. That will probably just be in March and not right now. But grab yourself a nice cup of coffee or a mug of tea, sit back, relax, and then let's get started. So we begin with the budget brands. And let's begin with the Staedtler, because Staedtler and also Faber-Castell are the coloring pencils that are the way easiest to get here in Denmark, where I live. And I also suspect that they are some of the easiest brands to get in Germany, because both Staedtler and Faber-Castell are German brands, and also in Scandinavia, Norway and Sweden. So we do have, when we go into our art stores and or bookstores where they also sell some art supplies, we always find Staedtler and Faber-Castell, and the more budget brands here. So if I begin with my Staedtler, I will have to show you some different kinds of Staedtlers. And these are not in a fancy tin box, because they were unboxed years ago, and they are actually just on my desk in this. So I have two different kinds here. I have these with stars and circles and triangles on them. They are a triangular brand here, and they are Staedtler Norris color. And these are actually meant for children. I simply cannot remember when I bought these. It must have been more than 10 years ago when my children were little. And I have a sneaking suspicion that it actually might be one of my kit sets that I have borrowed and never returned. And you can also see, well, I haven't really sharpened these. I have just had them here on my desk for years, and I don't use them. I have to be quite honest with them. But they are in this, I think they are 12 here. It's a normal 12 coloring pencil set, you know, where you get your dark and light green and dark and light blue. You have a yellow, a red and an orange, a couple of pinks, a purple and a brown and a black, and that's it. So this is one of those normal you just get. Then I also have these, and this is a larger set here, and it's not a particular kind of special brand, it's just Staedtler, and then they have a color number, and you can see here they are still blunt at the tip. I haven't even bothered to sharpen them, because I have well, almost never used them. I will actually show you in a bit that I have used these, and that is why I know something about them. So these are a bigger set here with a couple of more colors. We have some turquoise here, and also both lilac and more purples and pink colors, a couple of more browns, and also a couple of grays, and that's sort of it. So let me just put all of these up in this one. And I will tell you in a minute why I certainly don't use these. I also have here my Staedtler pastel set, because you can also get a pastel set here with Staedtler. And here you can see a lot of nice pastel colors, nice to supplement. You can also see that I have used this one quite a bit, and also the pink one. So this mint green and the pink, light pink one here, I have used a lot because they are so nice to use as background colors. So if I have to be quite honest, these pastel colors are the one I have used the most of these normal Staedtler coloring pencils. And they are just all here in the same one. I will actually just show you now that I have used them. And I have used them here in my romantic country because I have a page here. This is actually a video up on my channel. And here you can see, this is the page in the first romantic country book with the Easter eggs. And I used this page to try out a lot of my coloring pencil brands, to try to figure out what kind of pencils work best on the paper in this. This is a Japanese edition. And you can see here I have tried the Staedtler Norris up here. And I have tried the Staedtler normal coloring pencils here. And they were so hard on the paper. I mean, the tip is so hard, it's like, well, concrete. They are scratchy and hard, and they really don't work a lot. You have to work a lot with them to get any color out of them. And this is why I don't use these Staedtler Norris or the normal Staedtler I just showed you. The only ones I used were these pastel ones because they were kind of similar, like the Staedtler Design Journey I'm going to show you in a bit. So I actually don't recommend anyone to use these very cheap coloring pencils from Staedtler. They are simply, well, they are not worth it, actually. So moving on, then I discovered Johanna Basford. So we are here in 2016, I think, 2016, 2017, when I discovered Johanna Basford. And then I discovered the Staedtler Ergosoft. And first I bought the smaller set here, and you can see these coloring pencils I have actually used quite a lot, especially the green ones here. And later on I bought here the 36 set because there were more colors here, amongst them a lilac color that I really like. I keep them in the tin box. This one I really like, and there was some more turquoise and more green colors and brown colors to choose from. Also, well, you know, just more of the yellow, orange and red colors. So that is why I bought this set. So I haven't used my 36 set a lot. I have only used these, and it is actually some years ago I stopped using them. I bought these because I also saw some Johanna Basford videos on her channel, and she praised them a lot and said that they were very good. I actually have a swatch chart here to see all of the colors. You can see here I have also found the color names. This one, the swatch chart itself with the numbers, from emilyillustrator.com, is one of her downloads. Because I didn't have time to make my own. I probably will sometime, because then I found out the color names. So I actually have the color names here also. And you can see they are some lovely colors, but the name Ergosoft isn't about them being soft, because I actually find that they are a harder pencil, and not quite as hard as these cheap Staedtler ones. They are really hard, but it's because they are ergonomic. They are triangle here and not hexagonal or round, and this should help to prevent, you know, from getting too much tension here when you color. So the name Ergosoft is because that they are ergonomically more correct to use, so someone says, and then they are actually soft here. It's some sort of rubber-like. It has a rubber-like feeling here when you touch them, and not a wood or a plastic feeling. So the softness is absolutely not this tip here of the pencils. I do find them hard, and you need to layer and use them very lightly. I have not a very light hand. I have a little more of a heavy hand, and you know, coloring all of this with just a little color on a drawing, it's really not for me. So I have actually stopped using them. I will not get rid of them because I do like to use them sometimes in smaller drawings. I really like them, but on larger areas I don't find that they work very well because you have to layer and layer and layer to get enough color out of these. So Staedtler Chromaflows is really not my favorite kind of Staedtler coloring pencil, but I will tell you what is my favorite kind of coloring pencil, and that is these. And these I also have, I don't have the box, these are the Staedtler Design Journey. And for several years now I have recommended these as the best beginner budget pencil brand there is on the market here, at least in Northern Europe. I will not mention anything about Dürer or normal Brutfuners because I don't have them. I don't know how they work, so I cannot comment on them. But these Staedtler Design Journey, and I have the 72 set. I can bring some of the colors out here. You can see I like these a lot. They are just wonderful to color with, and you can see I've also used these quite a bit. I have the swatch chart here. I have made it myself, and you can get it if you want to in my coffee shop, actually, this one. And you can see from the colors there is a really nice selection of red and pink colors here. Also some violet colors, not that much of a purple color, but violet colors we have, and a lot of blue colors, some teals, and a lot of nice green colors. Also have some ochre colors here and some brown colors, very nice, and not that many gray colors, which is really perfectly fine with me because I really don't like the gray colors and I don't use them a lot. So this is for me a perfect set, and I find that they work easier on the paper for me than the Staedtler Chromaflows, and that is why I for many years have recommended beginner colorists to use the Staedtler Design Journey. That has changed, but more about that in a minute. So these were all of my Staedtler coloring pencils, and as I said, the Staedtler Design Journey are my favorite of these Staedtler pencils here. Moving on to Faber-Castell, the budget brands. Well, here I have some triangular pencils also from Faber-Castell. So you can recognize these because they have this is very sparkly and shiny, this glitter on them. The gold and the silver, you can see I've used the gold a lot because the gold and the silver, they actually work very nicely. These metallic colors actually use. And they are certainly cheaper than some of the more expensive metallic coloring pencil brands you can get out there. But I really like those. I've also used this little bit of a, looks like a neon pink. It really isn't, but it's a really nice color to use. You can see that these pencils I have are from different sets because I have almost some of the similar colors, and I don't have a full set because I lack some green colors. So I can't remember when I bought these. Again, it must have been when my children were very little and I bought coloring pencils for them. And sometimes I just bought open stock, and I bought this and that color. And sometimes I just, well, bought open stock because then my son, he really liked yellow, so he always needed more yellow colors and blue colors, and my girls needed more pink and purple colors. So, well, anyway, I have another set here, and they actually look like the same almost, apart from this is gray and not silver. But these coloring pencils are, I have to say it again, budget brand, but these are the Color Grip. And you can get them in larger sets, and then of course the price goes up. But even these small sets of Color Grip, also triangular, I have to say, these just are remarkably beautiful in coloring books, even though for a budget brand. Let me show you this page again from the Romantic Country here. So this Easter egg down here was colored with these color grips, and they work beautifully on the paper. It was a joy to color with these, especially because they are actually quite soft on the paper compared to the Staedtler I had also tried out. You can see here the Staedtler Chromaflows. Well, they work nicely on the paper here. The pastel pencils here also very nicely. And the design journey down here beautifully. And also with this Faber-Castell color grip. Just see if I can find if I... no, that was actually the ones here. So really, really nice. And a nice surprise, because if you buy the smaller sets of this color grip, they are really not that expensive and they work nicely. On the other side, if you really want to use a lot of colors, then you will have to get the larger sets. I think you can get them in a 48 set, but I'm actually not sure if you can get them with more than 48 colors. And then you can say, well, then you sort of need some of the colors you find in the larger sets. But these are surprisingly good for the price, I just have to say. I also have these, and I haven't tried them. I've only actually used these a little bit. This is a Faber-Castell pastel set. And you can see some beautiful, beautiful pastel colors. And I know why I haven't used them, because I actually found them at the bottom of my shelf. Yet again, I found something I hadn't used because I had lost sight of it. It was at the bottom of my shelf and I had half a ton of other material standing on top of it. So that is why I've never used them, but I will actually begin using them. They are gorgeous, these colors. If they work anything like the color grip, then I know I will be in for a treat. But let's see. I can see that I have used a little bit of these three, but I simply cannot remember when and where. So it's been a while. I have had these for, I think, at least 6 years, perhaps even 8 years. So I really can't remember it. So that was my budget brands of Staedtler and Faber-Castell. So let's move on to another brand here. Okay, moving on to Arteza triangular grip 48 colored pencils. And I have them here in this round box. And again, I watched quite a lot of Johanna Basford some years ago, and she also recommended these. And I don't know if you can get them anymore, because I just did a search on Amazon and I can only find a 48 watercolor set in a round sort of box here. I cannot find these, and therefore I cannot find the price. I can't remember what I paid for these, but it wasn't that expensive. Well, anyway, you can see here from them that I have used quite a few of these, and I do like to color with them now and then. I really like to use the green colors, because I really do use green colors the most. I like the color range in this Arteza set here. I really, really do, especially when you have such a nice lavender color. It's called lavender. I think it's more lilac, but they really call these colors different, because this one, which I would say was lavender, is called lilac. A funny thing, because there's definitely more red here in this lilac than in this lavender. You know, it's the other way around with the Prismacolors. Then this would be lilac and this would be lavender. But anyway, I do think that they have a nice selection of colors. Only a couple of red colors. It's not that I use red all the time. I just think that it's really, really nice to have some good red colors, you know, for blending and for using, because it's not a color you can create with the other coloring pencil, since it's a primary color. But you can see here in the coloring chart, beautiful, beautiful colors. And this 48 set, I know that there are other Arteza brands like Arteza Expert and so on, but I'm having a hard time finding them and getting them. You know, I bought these from the United States, from Amazon US, many years ago, and I did have to pay, you know, taxes and extra shipping and all that to get them to Denmark. I think that was why I only bought a 48 set, and I haven't really bought that much from Arteza. But you can see they have some really nice bright green colors, but also some more dark colors here. A nice selection when you consider it's a 48 set, I have to say. I'm looking at it and I don't know why I put the charcoal gray and elephant gray right here instead of over here, but never mind that. Anyway, so these are also very nice to use. All of the pencils I have talked about right now are all wax based, and this means because there are wax and oil in all coloring pencil, it just means that we have a bit more wax in these, and they have this ability to blend very nicely, and very easy to use. Oil-based pencils require a bit more work since a lot of them are a bit harder in the lead than others, but you know, wax-based pencils can also be very hard, like these Staedtler ones, and very scratchy. So, but for a budget brand here, because they weren't that expensive, I really think that these work very, very nicely. But as I said, it's not that easy to get a hold of Arteza, especially here in Europe. So that's why I don't recommend these for a beginner colorist, at least in Europe, because again, there are pencils that are more easy to get a hold of here in Europe. And these are not the ones. But that was my Arteza. And if you want to see, I have actually used them in my Christmas coloring challenge a couple of years ago. It's in the playlist on my channel. And some of the episodes, I have actually used these to color some of the Christmas ornaments. So if you want to see how they work, find the episodes and see them there. And then you can see how they perform. Next up is my brand new Maria's coloring pencils, oil-based 120 set. I showed you these in my recent winter art haul, and I have to admit I have not used them, so I cannot tell you a lot about them. I have not even tried them, but let's pick one out and see how it performs on some paper. Well, they certainly don't seem very scratchy here on normal printing paper, like a lot of other coloring pencil brands usually do. As I said, these are oil-based, and this means that they will probably require a lot more layering than wax-based pencils, and they will work greatly on paper in Japanese coloring books, because if you have followed me for a while and watched my translated flip-throughs of a lot of different Japanese coloring books, mostly by Aikawa Sora, others by Eri, you will know that the paper in Japanese coloring books are meant for oil-based pencils and watercolor mediums, and really not that good for wax-based pencils. There will be an upcoming review of these on my channel here, so stay tuned and watch, because it will come in a not too far future, this one. So, but they are a budget brand pencil, so later I will tell you how they perform and if they are a good buy. I have a good feeling about these, I can tell you this much, but let's see in that review, upcoming review here on my channel. Also, budget brands, my Brutfuner Macarons. So I keep quite a lot of my coloring pencils in these pencil cases, because some of them come, as you can see here are the Brutfuner metallic color pencils, and they are also budget brand pencils, just like the Macarons here. And they come in this a cardboard box, and then when you open it and take them out, you can see here that they are in these plastic trays. And I mean, it's not very handy when you work with pencils on a day-to-day basis to have to unpack these every time. So these will also come in a pencil case I have just bought. I just haven't had the time to put these in that pencil case, but here they are. I actually haven't tried these out yet. So These are all also oil-based, and you can see they don't scratch or leave paper dust on printing paper. I think I will make a little review of these. I have reviewed other metallic pencils on my channel. If you go to my playlist reviews, then you can find a review of the Derwent Metallics and also the Castle metallic pencils. But when you look aside from this, the Brutfuners are budget brand. They are very cheap. These ones, I got them for my birthday. They were bought on Temu. And also the big 72 set of the Macarons. I will not show you this set of the 72. I have the 50 set here, together with the Holbeins, actually, that I will show you later. But suffice it to say that they are oil-based pencils. Perhaps that's why they work very nicely on the cheap printing paper that I have. And you can see here the Brutfuner Macarons here. Beautiful, beautiful pastel colors, some more bright than others, and some very light. I have used these actually in my latest color and chat video where I worked in The Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford, and they work really, really well on the paper in that book, and that is because oil-based pencils really work great in Johanna Basford's books. I mean, it's like that they were also made, because the paper is very smooth, they were made for oil-based pencils where you can layer and layer, and you know, not that much of with the wax-based pencils. I like the Brutfuner Macarons. I really do. I find that they are creamy and soft, and to be quite honest, I will talk about the Holbein later, but I will say that I do think that they work better than the Holbein pastel set, which I also have here, but I will talk about that later. I really, really like the way these work. I like the colors. It's a bit funny because the color names are not spelled correctly in some of the pencils. This is Salom, but it's of course, it should be salmon. So there are some spelling mistakes in some of these. Also, this one, Goldfink, with a GH at the end. I don't know if it should spell Goldfinger or something else. Also a spelling mistake. One of my subscribers actually told me that a lot of these Chinese pencil brands, Brutfuner and Shuttle Art and Sioux Colors and so, they are actually the same. They're manufactured and then sold under different names. Well, I didn't know that. Now I do. So thank you so much. I have no intentions of acquiring Sioux Color or Shuttle Art. If it's really true that they are the same, then I just have these one. But I really, really like these ones. And for the price, I think it's a very, very nice and beautiful pastel set, I have to say. But more about pastel colors later, because I have other pastel colors I want to show you. But if you are looking for pastel colors that are budget friendly, then the Brutfuner Macarons are actually quite a good choice because they work great and they are cheaper than the Castle Art Pasteltints and also the Holbein pastel set there. So really, really like these, I have to say. And I have never regretted buying the Brutfuner Macarons. So the last of my budget brands are these, and these I have just done a review, and you may have seen it because it has just been released on my channel a couple of days ago. And well, these are the colors of the Bryunzeel set, the 72 set from the Expression series, and these are the reason why I from now on will recommend these as a great beginner coloring pencil in a budget brand, because these are just stunning. I mean, look at these colors. They are more bright than the colors in the Staedtler Design Journey series. And that is one of the reasons, because the colors are so bright and saturated compared to the Staedtler Design Journey. And please remember, this is for a budget brand. I know they are not Prismacolors or Caran's Luminance, but for a budget brand, they are really, really beautiful and quite color saturated. Another thing is that these work so great in coloring books. They are very easy to work with. The only thing I have trouble with is, getting these out of the box. Perhaps it will be easier with time, but they are easy to sharpen, easy to use. They actually hold the tip quite well. If you don't, over sharpen them, don't sharpen them to a very fine point, because then the very tip of the point here will break. But if you just, sharpen them normally sharp, then they really hold the tip quite nicely, and they are really nice to work with. I just said that oil-based pencils work great in Johanna Basford books, but I used these in Small Victories, and I actually showed it in the review, but I will also show you this. I did this page here in Small Victories. Just have to find it. Here it was. And colored these 2 circles of leaves, and used different colors, and well, they really work so nicely on this quite smooth paper here. I really didn't have any trouble with them. I could even, you can see, I could even color on top of a little bit darker color and add a little bit of shadow here and there, no problem. And it's not all budget brand wax-based pencils I can use on this paper because it's so smooth. So normally this would not have, I couldn't have done this with a design journey. I know them so well, and I could not have done this with the Staedtler design journey. But I really could with these Bryunzeel. So this has been a nice surprise. I have been in this coloring business for quite a while, and I have to say that this is the very first time that I have seen a budget brand beat the Staedtler design journey. So these I really do recommend as a beginner colorist first pencil set here. Beautiful pencils, very good buy. Okay, so now we switch from the budget brands to the a little bit more pricey of my coloring pencils. So these are not the extremely expensive ones, but these do cost more money than the budget brands. And we begin with my Castle Art pencils. And here in this pencil case, I have my Castle Art 120 Soft Touch. I don't have the Castle Art Gold. They're oil-based pencils, so these are wax-based pencils here. And this is one of those pencil cases where I have to open up each room to show you the pencils. Oh, and it was the right way I opened it. So you can see here that we do have a nice selection of coloring pencils here. You can see that they are not that used like some of my other coloring pencils, or you will come to see that later. I have used some of them. You can see there are some colors that I use more, like here with the blue ones. I really do like using blue colors. So you can see here that some of the blue colors are quite used, and also some of the green colors are quite used compared to all of the other colors here. I have a swatch chart here, and well, actually before I move on, I will just have to make a disclaimer here before someone writes a weird comment about me having way too much. I would just like to point out that I have bought all of these pencil sets myself, and I do have a lot more than colorists normally have, because I do a lot of reviews on my channel, and I am not bought by any company. I'm not sent pencils by company. I am not paid to do a positive review on my channel, so they are just based on my very honest opinion about these coloring pencils. And it's especially about coloring pencils when you use them in coloring books. How do they really perform? And I have to say also, before I begin with this Castle Art, I have been very, very skeptic and critical about Castle Art coloring pencils in my review. It's not a coincidence that my review of these 120 soft touch pencils are called Room for Improvement, because there is certainly room for improvement with these. And I move on with the metallic coloring pencils from Castle Art. Still room for improvement, because there was still room for improvement there. But we will get to that. So if we take a look at this swatch chart I have made myself, then you can see we have really a nice selection of colors here with the yellows and the skin tones here, and orange colors, and also, you know, some red colors. I do think that really red colors, there are only a couple of, because then they quickly turn over to the, well, the more pinkish and purple tones here. You can also see that I have made some, I have drawn here with my pencil, and that is because some of these colors, if you just use them very lightly, you cannot see the difference between these colors. I mean, the Bengal Rose and the Bengal Rose Deep, you cannot really see that one of them is darker than the other. The Opera Rose and Rose Pink, there's a very light color difference. You can hardly see it if you ease the pressure here. Also, with these Purple Light, Purple and Purple Deep, and then you can say, oh, the purple light, but it's almost as dark as the purple. So some of these colors really don't add up. Also, with the blue colors here, there is a nice selection of more violet colors. I don't know why they're called purple. They're more violet colors. But anyway, a nice selection of blues, and that is why I've used them so much. But you can see here the cerulean blue middle and the cerulean blue and cerulean light blue. You can see that the lightest of these three colors is clearly the cerulean blue middle. That's the lightest color. But here it's placed as a middle color, whereas the cerulean blue light is actually darker. It's the darkest of the three colors. So the cerulean blue is sort of a middle color. So the color names and the actual colors in the Castle Art set, they really don't match. So you have to be careful when you use them, and you really need to do a swatch chart and then really look at it before you choose your colors. You can also see here with the teal green light and the teal green. This is not a light color. This is sort of a middle color, and there's not much difference between the teal green light and the teal green. And then, of course, we also have some colors, mint green light and mint green, very much alike. And you can hardly see that this is a light color compared to this one. Here you have an example of, here you can clearly see the Castle Green light is really light. The Castle Green is a middle color, and the Castle Green Deep is a darker color. But here, leaf green light, it's light, leaf green middle, and then you have leaf green. And this is brighter and perhaps a bit darker than the leaf green. But it really doesn't make sense. So I think that there are some problems with these. But if you have a swatch chart, then you can go a long way with these coloring pencils. Next up, it's called Soft Touch. They are actually quite hard to work with on paper. I just have to say there's nothing soft about them. I have a lot of other coloring pencil brands, including the budget Brutfuner, Macarons. They are way softer to work with than these so-called Soft Touch from Castle Art. And I think that's why I haven't used them, because they are really hard to work with. That being said, I do like to use them sometimes, and I will actually show you. Just have to find it, a drawing I made with my Castle Art, and it's this one with a statue from Tales from Atlantis by Henrik Carlson. The background was done with soft pastels, but the rest of it, especially the statue here, but also the sand and the plants here and all of these little shells and stuff were made with the Castle Art Soft Touch pencils here. And it took a lot of layering. Make no mistake, you really have to layer, and you really have to sometimes press hard and sometimes go very light. But it is really possible to create beautiful colorings with these pencils, but you have to be patient, and you also have to choose the right paper. So it's not all paper in all coloring books that are suited for these Castle Art pencils. So when you take these things into account, you know, have a swatch chart with the colors so you can really see what the colors are like. And work on the right paper, then you can get some really great results with these coloring pencils. And if the other things were corrected, then it would be a nice set. But don't think that they are soft and creamy to work with like Prismacolors, because they really aren't. But you can get some really nice results when you use these Castle Art Soft Touch. So they are not my favorite coloring pencils to use. And Castle Art is, well, it's not my favorite brand. But I have bought them. I will use them. I have actually used them, as I said, in both colorings, and I actually think I have also done some color alongs or beginner tutorials where I use these. So next up, my Castle Art metallic pencils, 48 set. I have them here in another pencil case. I just have to open all of it because I have different coloring pencils in here. So I just have to be sure, you know, that I have them all here. And these were not the metallic. These were the pastel tints. I will get right at. Here it was. And there is a swatch chart for the metallic pencils, but you know, when you use metallic pencils, you can see they look quite a bit dull here on a white paper, on a white background here. These are all of the metallic pencils. You can see here, one of the things I really like about Castle Art, that they do hold their tip quite nicely because they are hard. So they hold the tip nicely. You don't have to sharpen them that much, even for a metallic pencil here. Round barrels, they are also very nice to hold, but you can see here when you use them on a white paper background, it really looks, yeah, they don't really shine. So that is why I swatched them on a black cardboard paper here and wrote the names with a gel pen here, and you can clearly see here, now they actually shine. They are not as shiny as the Derwent Metallic, but you know, Derwent is another brand and really a quality brand. Not that Castle Art is trash. It's not trash at all, but Derwent is just that more expensive and you know, make them in another way, so they are actually more shiny than these. But you do get some very nice metallic colors in this set. And if you want the colors, then you will have to use them on a black background to really make it shine, because else it will, well, it will not sparkle, these coloring pencils. As I said, there is still room for improvement. So if you want to see what else is wrong with these, then you would have to see my review of these Castle Art metallic pencils. And I also have to say, I haven't, you can see I have used some of them, but I have only used them a couple of times, except for this one. But I do think I know now why, because I actually think you can see here when you sharpen them, it eats up the pencil, they break, and the wood is really of a poor quality. I think really that was why I actually said that there was still room for improvement, because the wood is not the best quality, and I experienced a lot of the pencil breaking when I sharpened them. That was the metallic pencils. And why did I buy these? I actually think it was just, you know, to have the Castle Art and to see how they performed. I did it for my reviews and not because I really was in need of metallic pencils, because I don't use them that much. Perhaps I should. Perhaps I could later. But now for some pencils here from Castle Art, the Pasteltints, I have not regretted buying at all. And it's the pastel tint set. And there is a tester sheet, so I have swatched them here. But you know, this is smooth cardboard, so I always make my own. And you can see here I have pressed hard, so you can really see how the colors pop. And here you can see if you have a lighter pressure, how you can also, so you can get a lot of pop on your pages, or you can get them with just a light layer. And then they are really truly pastel-like and not poppy like on this tester sheet here. They have some very, very wonderful coloring names. I have to say Mimosa, Blushing Rose, Amaryllis, Foxglove. I really love Foxglove. I mean, the name alone. Hydrangea, or is it called Hydrangea? I think it's called Hydrangea. Wisteria, Tickle Pink, Jade, Bayberry, Angelica. I really like both the names, but also the colors. And I actually have a color pencil comparison video in my color pencil comparison playlist, where I have compared 4 different brands of pastel pencils. And it's the Holbeins, the Brutfuner Macarons, these pastel tint from Castle Art, and also pastel colors from the Black Widow set. Just have to say that these are wonderful in the colors, and I love them. They are not my favorite, because I have to admit that must be the Brutfuner Macarons, but I do like to color with them. I really like the colors and what I can do with them. I actually think that I did a whole page in a couple of pages with these in my Sternfall by Maria Trolle, that coloring book. And I know that I can't remember the pages now, but I do have the completed book up on my channel under my completed pages. So if you look up Sternfall completed book, there are 2 videos, one without speak and one with speak. And if you look at the one with speak, then I show you the exact pages where I have used the different coloring pencils. And you can see the pages I have done with these pastel tints. I love the colors. I really think that Castle Art has nailed it with this set, and that is why I called my review of these pencils, because I, of course, also did a review of these. I called it Castle Art Has Improved, because I couldn't really find any faults with these pencils. They really just perform very nicely on the papers. They are nice to layer, beautiful colors, and more easy to work with than the soft touch and also the metallic pencils, and they don't break. They really don't. The wood is still not a nice quality. It is affected depending on which sharpener you use. But if you look aside from that, they are really, really just gorgeous and so nice to work with. So that was almost all of my Castle Art collection. But I have one more. And these are my Castle Art Harmonious collection here. And I have not swatched these yet. I haven't had the time. I have a swatch chart here. I will also make my own, and I will be making a review of these, and it will be up on my channel during the spring. But just, I know I have to have the time for it. But all that saying about the Castle Art pencils, there are some colors that you really lack, and this set is supposed to, you know, give us those colors that we really need. For example, there weren't a lot of gray colors, and we really get a lot of really nice gray colors and also more muted tones in this coloring set. You know, we have the muted blue and violet and lilac and purple colors in this set. Also some more minty and muted green tones here. Also a couple of, I can see dark purple and dark red here. So this is, you know, the colors that the other sets are lacking. The only thing that I really have a problem with also with the Castle Art is that they only sell to people in America and England and France and Germany from their own website. And this means that if they are not sold on Amazon, then the rest of the world really can't get a hold of them. And I only got these because a very good friend in America, Anise, she sent them to me. Thank you so much again, Anise, for sending me these. So there will be a review up on these shortly on my channel, or well, shortly, at least here in March, I hope. So that was all of my Castle Art coloring pencils. And now for my Black Widow pencils, and they are in this huge pencil case because there are 180 in total, and I have bought them all. Beginning with first one set, and then, well, actually I didn't buy them all. I bought a couple of the sets, and the rest was given to me in, I think it was for Christmas or my birthday last year. This is from the Cobra set. Then you have CB for Cobra, the number, the color name, deep red, and then here you have the Cobra symbol here because it's from the Cobra set, and then the color here. And that is why they look different, because it's a bit different from set to set. But you can see they are beautiful. You can also see I have used some of them, but they are not that used like some of my other sets. And we will certainly get to them later on in this video. But you can see that some of the colors I have used a lot are the blue colors yet again. You know, turquoise and teal colors, and then green colors, because they are always the colors I use the most when I color. Can also see that a lot of these brown colors and stuff, I really don't use them a lot. And then of course the gray colors. I've used the black one here, the Black Widow, also quite a bit. and some of these, you know, the rattlesnake also, and some of these lighter colors. But let me show you an example here of a pencil where the color here on the lead, which is more like a beige tone, does not match the pink color here. So again, swatch the colors so that you know what colors they have. And I have the swatch chart here, and I have done the swatches set by set. So do you need all 180 Black Widow pencils? No, you don't. You really don't. I did because I made unboxing and swatches video. They are up on my channel in a playlist called Unboxing and Swatching. And then I switched to making reviews. I actually never made real reviews of these, but if I had, I would say that they are so nice pencils to work with. And I have placed them here in the middle range, because if you buy them all, then you will have to pay a lot of more money if you just buy one set. If you buy one of the 24 set, they are actually not that expensive, and you could call them a budget brand here with the Spider set with the 24 and the Cobra set and also the Scorpion set. Again, 24 coloring pencils. If you just buy one or two sets, then they really are a budget brand. I actually didn't mention this in my Chromaflow review, but if you buy all of the 180 Black Widow pencils, and they work so nicely in coloring books, it's cheaper than buying the Chromaflow set with 150 coloring pencils. It's actually cheaper with 180 pencils than 150 pencils. I think it's quite funny. I didn't say it in the video because I know a lot of people love the Chromaflows. I think that they do lack some colors, and I also have to say that I think that you really get your money's worth with the Black Widow pencils. So well, now I have said it here. You can see if you buy the Spider set, then you actually get sort of a, this is sort of a, the colors you need. You know, you have some yellows, an orange, you have a couple of pinks, and a red, a real red, a ladybug red here, a couple of purple, a purple and a more violet color, some blue colors, a couple of green and a turquoise color, a couple of browns, both light and in the middle, and a dark one, and then a beige color and black, of course, and a very dark brown. So all of the sort of colors you need, if you just have small sets, you really get in the Spider set. So that's a great beginner set with the Black Widows. If you then move on and think, oh, I would like some more colors, if you buy the Cobra, set, then you get a lot more of the pink and purple, violet colors, and some light yellow and more golden colors here. I wouldn't call them skin tones; they're too yellow, and also some gray colors here. But then you would need blue colors, because there aren't any blue colors here. A couple of dark green, a Venom, which is a green color, and then a dark teal, the Aquarius. But real greens and blue colors you don't find in this set. And that is why Cobra cannot, you know, stand alone. If you buy the Scorpion set, then you get more of the green colors and the blue colors. And then you get, you know, here and there colors. You have a yellow sand. You have some more skin tone colors here. Then you have some pink, a deep purple, a burgundy, and a blood red. So this is also and a dark chocolate, but no white and no black. So this is, you can say that the Spider set, the first one, is there you have sort of all of the colors you would like, and then they just keep adding through the new sets with new colors. If you buy the Dragon set with 36 pencils, and of course that costs a bit more than the 24 sets, then you get so many beautiful pink and purple colors here, and also quite a few orange colors, and a lot more of the green colors, and some more brown colors in that set. If you buy the Monarch set, then you get all of the pastel colors. You can see a huge range here, 48 pencils in this set. You get some dark blues and a couple of purple and violet here, and some gray colors, but most of them are just pastel colors. There are rumors that perhaps they will come with a pastel set, but I don't know if they mean new colors or if they just mean that they, you know, sort of collect all of the pastel colors and put them in one set, and then you can buy that. But I don't know what would happen to the Monarch set then, because it's mostly it mostly consists here of these pastel colors. Also get some very nice blue pastel colors in this set. And finally, we have the skin tones set, which is, well, I don't know if you can call Sunburst a skin tone. These are more like, you know, runner up. We need some more colors. We call them skin tones. And then we have a lot of brown colors in this one. Ochre colors, some beige colors. And here we have a lot of pink and orange colors. I can't really see myself using Carrot and Sunburst as a skin color. But, well, you never know. If I want to do orange skin, perhaps then. Also, the color names are just, you know, it's a bit like those, the Castlar Pastel Tint. I mean, Eggshell or Murk or Zephyr Blue, Starry Night. Starry Night is actually one of my very favorite blue colors. I love it. I really do. And then they also have Rattlesnake and Venom. I mean, what color is Venom? It's apparently green. I wouldn't have guessed. You know, grub green, it says, well, some sort of green color, eh? But also here, you have nail polish that is pink. It could also, well, have been a blue one. I mean, nail polish comes in a lot of colors. Picasso Sky, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous sort of pastel blue color here. Blue Tongue also, a pastel lilac color. Really beautiful. Dark Night, which is actually a dark blue and not a black one. Serpent, which is an orangey gold color. Sandpiper, which is more of a skin color. Bloodshot, which is a dark red, so that was perhaps easy to get. I mean, Fizz, who knew that Fizz was a dark minty green color? So what's not to like about Black Widows with the black wood and all of these names? But how do they perform? Get to the point, Katja. Okay, I will. They perform really, really nice in coloring books. Of course, depending on the paper. But I just want to show you one I did here last year. In this one, I have done several colorings with these. But this one, I called it Blue Flower World with the blue flowers and the green. I used my Black Widows. And you remember, this is Johanna Basford book. It's Johanna Basford paper, smooth. Although this does have a little bit more truth than her newer books, but quite smooth paper. And they work so nicely on this paper. I really, really like the Black Widows. You can press hard, get a lot of color down. You can ease the pressure. You can layer. You can blend. They are just wonderful to use. I love them. I love the Black Widows. They are one of my favorite wax-based pencils. I really love them. And also they are hexagonal, so you have to get used to that. I'm not very fond of hexagonal pencils. I do like more round pencils, but I do think that these ones work. They are not that thick, so you get a good grip on them. I really, really like my Black Widow pencils. And I think that these are one of the best buys you can get if you really want, again, up to 180 pencils. Then you can buy this one and you can work with them in so many ways and you can get great results with these. So for a middle priced brand here, they're just wonderful. Next up in these middle-priced brands here, we have Faber-Castell watercolor pencils, and they are just normal watercolor pencils. And they come in this red tin box. And you can see there is a pencil sharpener and a pencil. And then they lie here in plastic trays in some very nice colors, you know. Like we know from Faber-Castell, very nice yellow, red, couple of purple, blue, green, teal, turquoise colors, some browns, of course, a couple of gray, and of course also for some weird reason, a silver and a gold watercolor. I haven't used those, and you can see I've only used a couple of these. This green, the blue, the black, and that's it. So I have only used 3 of them, and they are not very easy to get down into the tin box here again. I have here a swatch chart of all of the colors, and you can see I have them here when you just use them dry, and here where I've used water. And well, if you can say anything, it's, you know, they are lovely colors, because the Faber-Castell colors here, a 48 set, really nice colors, but I would not recommend people at all to buy these watercolor pencils. If you want to buy some watercolor pencils, you at least should not buy these. I would really not recommend it. I have used them in some books. I can show you this one first. Again, this Easter egg page where I have tried a lot of these pencils. Just have to find here. And this egg was colored with the Faber-Castell Watercolors. And this one, you can see the color bled through down here, and I had to use a lot of water to dissolve the color pigments from these coloring pencils. They are really not that easy to dissolve with water. It takes a lot of water, and even though the paper in this coloring book is really nice and thick, and you can use water colors on them, I would be very careful, because they scratch the paper and they are very difficult to dissolve. You can even see it here where I have added the water. You can still see the strokes with the coloring pencil in a lot of these. Also here with the purples, you can clearly see where I've colored, because it's just not dissolved good enough. I have also colored a couple of backgrounds in my Hanne Carlsen book, Tales from the Forest Kingdom. I will just show you. So here it is, and I have colored 2 backgrounds with these watercolors. Here, this one with the green, and you can see here, you can see how I colored with the strokes, because it hasn't really dissolved. And even though it hasn't dissolved, I did use a lot of water, and it's a bit crinkled. The paper in Hanne Carlsen book usually can take also quite an amount of water. But you know, if I had to use that much water it requires to dissolve this pigment, then it would get really crinkled. I also did it with this one here, and you can see here with a darker and a lighter blue, and you can clearly see here it's hardly dissolved here with the strokes. So and you can see how the paper has crinkled, and it was not enough to dissolve this watercolor pencil enough. I mean, the rest of the drawing is nice, but the background is actually really bad in these 2 drawings because of these pencils. So this is a no-go for me, and I will not be using them. I haven't decided if I want to use them, you know, dry, but I mean, I have so many other lovely coloring pencils that just work really nice and that scratch the paper. So I might have to end with me getting rid of these, because I really can't use them for anything. Next up is my Koh-i-Noor Polycolor set of 72 coloring pencils, and these are oil-based. And they are in this pencil case. I have written actually on the back of my pencil cases, you can hardly see it, but I have written here which coloring pencils I have. And here I have extra Polychromos, and then my Koh-i-Noors. And I have them here. I just have to open the next one. Here. Yes, and I also have bought extra of these Koh-i-Noor, because when I use them, I really like to use them. So I have here my own swatch chart of these Koh-i-Noor that I did some years ago, and I have used them quite a bit. You can see here some of the pencils are more used than others. Again, especially the blue one, the mountain blue, I really like that, and sapphire blue and dark azure blue. And over here with the green ones, especially this one, I will actually have to check. Meadow green. This is the grass green, because annoying thing about these colors is that the color name is right here at the front end of the pencil with the coloring number, and then the rest of the pencil is made up by a production number and this code, and then it says Czech because they are manufactured in the Czech Republic, I think. Koh-i-Noor Polycolor, and then some numbers here. So I'm used to, you know, with the Prismacolors, that the things are at the end of the pencil. So if I didn't have this swatch chart and I have swatched them and laid them down in the same order as my swatch chart, I wouldn't know what coloring pencils the smallest ones are, because you can see here I only have the number left. I can't really see the color name. And that is a really annoying thing about these Koh-i-Noor, that you really have to be careful and perhaps put little stickers on them with the color names on them, because they disappear when you sharpen them and use them. So I have used these quite a lot some years ago. I think that I have used them, and that must really be in Johanna Bastard books, along with my Polychromos, because those were the first coloring pencil of the, you know, artist quality and really known brands I got after I had, fought with the Staedtler and Faber-Castell, the budget brands, and the Staedtler Coloursoft for quite a while. Then I acquired the Polychromos set and also this set, and then later on Prismacolor. So this is actually one of my older sets of coloring pencils, and I really like it. But as I said, oil-based pencils, they work really nicely in Johanna Bastard book on that smooth paper. So next up we find my Arrtx coloring pencils, which I have here in this pencil case, and it's the Arrtx set of 126 coloring pencils. Arrtx, when they came, there were a lot of hype on YouTube about were they Prismacolor dupes and were they this and that, and I actually did sort of a comparison, because a lot of the colors and the way they are, it's almost the same as Prismacolors for quite a lot of them, both with names and also with the way they are. For example, here we have carmine red, then we have scarlet red, we have a chili pepper, and then crimson red and crimson lake. So it sort of reminds you of the Prismacolors, but they are not the Prismacolors, and they are not new Prismacolors or a coloring pencil which exists to replace Prismacolors. I don't think that you should see them in this view, but they are very nice to work with, and they do have some lovely colors. One of my favorite colors is actually this green color. This doesn't exist in the Prismacolor set, by the way. This is asparagus green, and I love this color. It's absolutely wonderful. I really think it's nice to have some different green colors in this. Also, another one of my favorite colors, it was this one, rose red. Not the mulberry, this one, rose red. I really like the color of this one. Beautiful color with which you can make some very nice flowers, actually. So I do have some favorite colors also. This one, the Bavarian cream, it's such a nice, lovely, light beige sort of color, this one. And you can really use it when you want to, you know, make some light in, you know, in some wood. So this color is actually quite great for this. I have actually made a comparison video between the Prismacolors and these Arrtx, and it's up in my comparison playlist. And I found out that these are not as soft as Prismacolors, and they do have a problem with blending. You have to blend them and do it in another way compared to the Prismacolors. But if you want to know more about that, watch that video, because I cover it all in that video. I did buy them, I have to admit, because there was a lot of hype around them, but I haven't regretted buying them, because I do like to use them from time to time in my coloring books. I found that I didn't like using them in the paper in Maria Trolle's Stjernfall. I know that some others have been more successful. I didn't think that they really matched the paper there. You had to layer and layer and layer and layer, and if the paper isn't, well, very smooth, it's like that they have trouble blending these ones. Another thing, if you really like those, you know, metallic colors, the silver and the gold are actually quite soft and smooth here and not scratchy at all compared to other coloring pencil sets. I really like that they don't have a lot of gray colors like the Prismacolor set. It has way too many gray colors, but again, I don't like gray colors, so I'm not a fan of too many gray colors. They do just have enough. They have a light and a middle and a darker color, and that's it. So that's really fine by me. This one was made with my Arrtx, and you can see that on this paper, because this paper is in Stjernfall was very smooth compared to the paper in the older books by Maria Trolle. In the older books it has a lot more tooth and it's much more coarse, but here is really smooth. So the Arrtx pencils, I find, because I also tested them in a Johanna Basford book, which has also got very smooth paper, and it's like that they don't blend well into each other on smooth paper, on larger areas at least. So I had a lot of trouble blending these colors into each other. You can see here, you can really see the lines. But here, this from Christine Karen's Mermaids here. Here I also used Arrtx, and you can see the blending here is actually much more easy here, both with the hair and her body. And also up here it was easier. Actually, there are 3 colors here. You can't really see it because they blended really nicely. And of course it's a bit more obvious here because it's 2 different colors we can see here. But you can see when I shift from the blue to the more green here, it's also blended much more into each other here, and this paper is not that smooth compared to the paper in this book. So with coarser paper I find that they work better, actually, these Arrtx. So I don't regret having bought these Arrtx. I really like them. They are not in my top 3, I have to be honest, but they are certainly one of the pencil brands that I really like and return to. So if I had a top 5, I have a sneaking suspicion that they might end on that. And that was the Arrtx here. Moving on to Evazar, the last of the middle range priced coloring pencil sets that I have. And this is a buy I have not regretted. And I do think that the Evazar actually might be in my top 3 of coloring pencils. So about middle range prices, this is the 130 set. If you want to buy it in the United States and it's not on Amazon, then it is actually really, really horrendously expensive. But if you buy it on, and I know that they are sold in the UK, also on Amazon, and I think their own webpage, but I found it with a huge discount. So every now and then there is a huge discount, and then you buy them, and then they are actually really cheap. So I saved a lot of money, even though I had to get them from the UK and, you know, pay shipping and all that. I still got a huge discount, so it was really good to buy them at that time. So wait until there is a sale, and then you can buy them. These are also wax based. And they are actually really, really soft. I have a swatch chart here that I made for this set. They are not that widespread. There are only a couple of reviews. on YouTube, one of which is actually my review of these, and it is really a positive review because I was really impressed with these. They are so nice and bright in the colors. I do think that the colors really covers my need for the different color palettes here, especially green colors. They also have some, you can see here, some very nice brown. They don't have a lot of brown colors, but the ones they have are so beautiful. So rich pigmented, and as I said, they are soft. Boy, are they soft, and they are very easy to work with. And I think that's one of the most important things about coloring pencils. They are really easy to work with, and they work great on different sorts of papers, both smooth and also coarser paper with more tooth in it. I also have made a color family chart actually, and this is the only one that exists of these coloring pencils. And well, a little commercial here. You can buy it in my coffin shop, and if you use the link below in the description box, you can actually get it for free, because during the whole of February I have a 100% discount in my coffee shop, and you can get my coloring charts, including this one, for free. Otherwise it's $3 for this one. So here in Twilight Garden, I made this double page spread with my Evazar pencils. So my subscribers actually voted for this double page spread to be colored, and then I use my Evazars, and you can see here, they just blend so nicely into each other here. You can't see it on the hedgehogs, of course, because of the quills I had to make them with white and ivory Posca. But you can see here how nicely they just blend into each other. And not only in this book, but actually also in Seasons by Hannah Carlson, I did a color along called Autumn Winds, where I also used the Evazar pencils, and they worked like a dream. So the Evazar pencils are a really good buy when you buy them on sale, because otherwise you certainly shouldn't pay that really expensive price for these pencils. But if they are on sale, grab them, you will not regret it. Actually really, really good, these ones. And now for the way more expensive coloring pencil brands, and I will begin with the Derwent Metallics. It's a small set, 20 coloring pencils here. It was a special limited edition set, and I got it with quite a discount from my favorite Derwent store in Denmark called H.C. Faber, which is a art store, not just for art, but you can also, buy paint for your houses and stuff. But they have an art department in that store, and they are, well, the leading sellers of Derwent in Denmark. And sometimes you can get huge discounts, between 50 to up to 70% discount on Derwent products in Denmark. And that is why I always buy there. So I have them swatched out here. And you can see here they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous metallic colors, real metallic shine to them. We both have, the silver and more copper, gold. And then we have purple and pink. The pink one is really beautiful, a rose gold, which is actually gorgeous. Pink gold, you have silver rose, but you also have turquoise, green, blue, and ice blue. So you have all you want here, even a yellow metallic color here. And I have actually also made a review of these. It's up on my channel. Watch it if you want to know more about these. If you're not one into metallic pencils, then don't bother seeing it, of course. But if you think about investing in metallic coloring pencils, I would really recommend the Derwent, because they are soft, creamy, buttery, and really gives a nice shine. And I would, of course, use them on black paper and not on white, because the colors really don't give them credit here on a white paper. So that was the Derwent ones here. My Holbein Pastels. Beautiful, beautiful colors. I love pastel colors. I mean, look at this. Oh, one of the tips just cracked off. Well, but beautiful colors. I love them. But then I also got the Brutfuner. And the Brutfuner Macarons, They are just better than the Holbeins. The Holbeins I bought from an art store in the UK in London called, I think it's called Jackson's Art. And I only bought them because, one, there was a discount, and two, the EU and the UK had made an agreement not that long ago when I bought them last summer that if you bought under 150 euros worth of goods, then you didn't have to pay taxes. When you imported it to a European Union country. So I only had to pay shipping and then the price for the pencils themselves. I know that a lot of people swear to Holbeins, and they have all of the colors. I have these, and then I actually also have the neon colors somewhere, a little box with 6 neon colors. But honestly, are they worth it, that price? When I got the Brutfuner Macarons here, I did a colored pencil comparison again in my playlist. Check it out. And you can see I colored this part of this drawing with the 4 parrots in the Magical Jungle by Johanna Basford with the Holbeins. This one with the Brutfuner. Down here with the Pasteltints, and here with the Black Widows. The Black Widows was a bit difficult to find colors that matched the others because all of these were real pastel color set, so they had similar colors. But I just have to say that I chose the Brutfuners to work the best out of these 4 because they were the easiest ones to work with. The Holbeins, they were not bad. Not at all. They are really nice to work with. But I mean, the price itself is a huge lot, I think. So if you want some pastel colors that work really nice, then choose the Brutfuner Macarons, because the others, they are really wonderful, but they actually don't perform as much and blend as well as the Brutfuners. At least in my experience here with this color pencil comparison. So I bought the Holbeins first and then the Brutfuners, and I actually regretted it a little bit because if I had bought these and used them first, then I wouldn't have bothered buying the Holbeins. Well, that's what I get from watching other YouTubers' reviews of these things, especially when they have the pencils sent by the manufacturer themselves. But go and watch my playlist reviews and color pencil comparisons. You will learn quite a lot when you watch them about all of these colored pencils that I'm showing you. So that was the Holbeins. Well, actually, I not quite sure what I should take now, but I actually think that I will take this huge pencil case out. And if we look at it, it says Karismacolor and it says Caran Luminance. And let's start with the Karismacolors, because the Caran Luminance are way more expensive than the Karismacolors, although they are also rather expensive. These Karismacolors, also in my review list, watch it. I bought from Japan, and these are, just to be perfectly clear, these are not the same as the the vintage Karismacolor pencils from back in the old days. The old Karismacolors, they were waxed based. More about these in my vintage episode of this colored pencil collection. These are oil based, and that is the difference. But these are, and I said it in my review and I meant it, these are, if the Prismacolors and the Karismacolors are 100% soft and buttery and creamy, these are at least 90, if not 95% that of the Prismacolors and the Karismacolors, the old ones. These are, without a doubt, the softest oil-based pencils I have ever used and that I have in my possession. And I mean, the Polychromos, they are so hard compared to these, and they work like a dream. They also actually follow the Prismacolors in the color, both color names and also the color tones, actually. you can see here, they exist only in smaller sets. So I think there is a 24, 36, and then a 72 set. And I have the 72 set here. So the color names are the exact same color names as the Prismacolors, and they just don't have the entire range of them. But if you want to know more about these and the story about them and how they got to Japan and are called Karismacolors but are oil-based and not wax-based, then watch my review of these and you will learn a lot more. These are one of the best buys I have ever done, but they are not sold open stock. Not that I know of, but I don't live in Japan. Perhaps they are, but they are not sold. I got them from eBay, by the way, so they are not sold open stock there. And that is why I am a little bit hesitant to use them, because I don't want to, use them up and then I can't replace them unless I buy a whole new set. And that is the only reason I don't use them as often as I would actually like. That is because I don't want to, use them up completely. The same actually goes here. Don't mind these Prismacolors. It's just some extras I have bought. The same goes for the Caran Luminance. The Caran Luminance, I don't know if they are the most expensive pencils in the world, but my gosh, they are so expensive. And I actually got them with quite a discount, from a store called Macarons, which is in Denmark. And I was really hesitant, and then I thought, well, heck it, I just want to buy these. And I really, really like these Luminance. I love them. And you can see from them that I have used quite a lot of these. Some of them very much the Castle Earth. I love that brown color. Really, really love it. But they are not sold open stock in Denmark. I did have a wonderful place in the UK called the Colour Pencil Shop with Emma. And unfortunately, she decided a couple of months ago to stop shipping to the EU because of these new rules between the UK and the EU. They have apparently changed, or else it was becoming too difficult for her to keep shipping to the EU. So unfortunately, I cannot buy them from her because she actually sells these open stock. And then I would be able to, replace the ones that I have used the most. Luckily, there are 2 whites and 2 blacks in this. I bought the 100 set. So I do have 2 blacks and 2 whites, and that's good because I have a whole new white I haven't used. You can also see I have a pencil blender, and I have different sorts of blenders, but my very, very favorite blenders are the full blender and the pencil blender from Caran, from this Luminance. I love them. They are way better than the Prismacolor blender, which is actually also good, but they are just way better. They are so soft, especially this pencil blender. I can really recommend it. And the Derwent is okay, but it's really scratchy most of the time. So I love the Luminance pencils. I have used them to, and again, I will just show you a couple of drawings I have made with the Luminance pencils from the Witch's Cottage. This one I made, this was back in 2023, actually, I think I made it. So I used them on this, and especially, not that one, this witch portrait, which you might have seen on my channel. I use the Luminance pencils for this, and I love them on the paper here in Hannah Carlton's book. They just work so nicely. And actually, I was wrong. This one was actually also done with the Luminance. I had just forgotten, but this was also done with the Luminance. And look at it. It's just, they work so great here on this paper. I just love them. But again, they are so expensive, and I'm so scared of I might use some of them up and then I can't replace them. And that is why I haven't used them for quite a while. But I do love using them. So if anyone knows of a place where you can buy these open stock and they will ship to Denmark, please let me know in the comments, because I would really love to know how to be able to buy new ones so I can keep using these. And now for some of the very, very, very expensive, and that is the Derwent products I have. And these are the Derwent Chromaflows, and I have just made a review not that long ago. It's up on my channel. I only bought them recently on Black Friday art haul, and I am still figuring out if I am a huge fan or not. I have here from Color with Claire the Derwent Chromaflow color family chart here. So you can see all of the colors here instead of me, you know, removing and, you know. So I have used them, I'm actually using them right now in Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emilie Lidehall Øberg. Some people wrote to me and said that they actually work very nicely in that book, and they are absolutely okay in that book, I have to say. I was complaining about only finding one really red color, and that's the pure red, because you can see all of these colors are more orangey or brownish red, or darker than really red. And I really miss that in this set, and I still do, even though I've begun using them. And these 4 metal colors is a waste of coloring pencils. They really should have 4 other colors that we needed, like more reds and perhaps also more browns. You can see here we don't have a lot of browns down here. We have some light colors, a mocha and a nutshell, which is actually almost the same color. I can see now where they are side by side. And then brown sugar, bourbon and coffee bean. And then these colors. So when I look at this color family chart, well, I'm not really all together up in the moons and about impressed by the colors in this one. So I'm still deciding whether or not this was a great buy. I have to be honest, if this hadn't been on that huge sale where I got a really big discount, I'm not sure I would have bought it. It is certainly not a replacement of the 150 Prismacolors. I can tell you that, not in my book anyway. I know a lot of people are really fond of these and really happy with them. And it's also great if you live in a place where you can buy them open stock. And you can in the UK on their own webpage, on Derwent's webpage, you can buy them open stock. All of these, all of the 150 are available now open stock, if you didn't know that. So that's actually a good thing. I always think it's a very good idea when you can buy them open stock and you're not stuck with having to buy an entire new set of coloring pencils. So that's a good thing. But I am still deciding whether or not this was a good buy. Also because I have so many wax-based pencils now. So, and this is quite a lot. So I am, well, I'm a bit uncertain about whether or not I like these. I haven't used them that much to really know if I will keep them or not, actually. Well, now for someone or some things I will keep and that I love. My Derwent Inktense. I love these. And if I don't think I could have a top 3 now I think about it with coloring pencils, not even a top 5. Well, but these should at least be in that, because I use them quite a lot, as you can see here. And I have used them really many times since I bought them. This was actually one of the first reviews I made of this, and wow, I really love them. And you can see, you can just, you know, sharpen them and use them, and it takes a long time before you use these up. And I have recently acquired some of the missing colors, because this is the 72 set, and then they expanded up to 100, I think, or something. Yeah. So most of the new colors I have bought, except for a couple of the very dark colors. I do think that if we look here, they do have quite a lot of ink colors, not that paint gray, but you know, the Indian ink and sepia ink and so on. And a lot of these extremely dark colors I really don't use. I think actually my favorite, one of my favorite colors is this, what is it here? Oh, the sun yellow. I love it. Really love the sun yellow. One of my favorite colors. And then of course, as you can see, the green colors. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So these are one of the best buys I have ever done, the Derwent Inktense. And well, it is ink and not watercolor. So once you have, activated with water and it dries, then it just sits there. But when you have used them for quite a while and learned how to use them, they are just very good and very good at coloring larger areas in, for example, Hanne Carlson book. I use them a lot in Hanne Carlson books. I don't think I have ever used them in a Johanna Basford book, if I have to be quite honest, but in Hanne Carlson books, I frequently use the Derwent Inktense because I just love them so much. And they come in this great tin box with a dolphin and fishes. I mean, what's not to like here? Absolutely brilliant. Then the Derwent Lightfast. And you will see that these, I have not used them. I am going to make a review in the not so distant future here on my channel. So I haven't really swatched them or anything, but these are oil-based. And I don't have that many oil-based pencils, so I don't think that I will regret this buy with these. I know a lot of colorists who uses these together with the Inktense or sometimes with other coloring pencils. And as you know, I have a lot of Japanese coloring books which require oil-based pencils, so I think that I will put these to good use. So I can't tell you that much about them, but watch out on my channel for an upcoming review of these Derwent Lightfast. However, I would like to say that buy these if you want to on a sale, because they are really expensive. And if you really want to, I always buy the larger sets because I review them, but buy perhaps a smaller set. And if you can get them open stock, perhaps just, 5 or 6 or 10 colors, and then use them before you decide whether or not you want to have them. But look out for my future review of these. I have a good feeling about them though. My Derwent Coloursoft, again, they are so new that I haven't used them. I haven't even swatched them. Also because I wanted to do a review of these and the following coloring pencils, the Procolour. I actually read on Derwent's own webpage that the Chromaflows are very good to use with the Coloursoft, and that they sort of complement each other, and these should be very, very soft. Ooh, and they do have a nice soft feeling about them. So, on Derwent, they suggest that you use the Coloursoft and then combine them with the Chromaflows. So I am actually going to experiment with this also in an upcoming review on my channel. Perhaps a colored pencil comparison of some sort with the Chromaflows. So I can't tell you that much about them other than they do feel soft. And then the Procolour, and I haven't even unpacked these. One day perhaps I will do an updated version of this colored pencil collection, and then I can tell you more about the Derwent Procolour. Or otherwise, watch out if I am going to make a review of these. I haven't decided yet. So we are getting near the end of this video. I just have a few more to show you. And Faber-Castell, the Albrecht Dürer watercolor pencils. I have made a review of these up on my channel, and well, it's Faber-Castell. Expensive, but a really good quality. And these are the watercolors, and you can see here, and then I bought some extras for the colors I really use. So my swatch chart is here. They are dry here and activated with water here. And I just have to say, compared to the other ones I mentioned earlier, the one in the red tin box, these are not scratchy. And these work really, really well. And you can reactivate them and you can layer them. So when it's dry, you can add another layer. So you can have, a light layer or a darker layer and so on with these. I love them. But I also, and I love the colors. The same colors as we find in the Polychromos, which I will get around to in just a minute actually. And it's really easy that they have the same colors with the same numbers for the watercolors and the polychromos and some of the other sets, because it's easier to, you know, combine the pencils when you have the same colors. And they are just gorgeous, because the Faber-Castell colors are just gorgeous. They have some absolutely stunning blues, like this one. You can see I've already used it quite a lot. Ultramarine, I love the ultramarine and the light ultramarine and the sky blue, one of my favorite colors. The phthalo blues are also really great. And then of course the leaf green and the light green and the permanent green. I mean, what's not to like here? Absolutely wonderful, and a good way, I think, to so they work differently than the Inktense, and I wanted to try another medium without going full into watercolors. Then I thought I want to have some really nice watercolor pencils that I can use, and I think that these are it. And that brings us to Polychromos. The Polychromos 120 set, which I keep in this pencil case, and they were the first artist pencils I got some years ago, and they were my absolute favorite pencil for many years. And you can see here that some of them are really used, and you can also see, oh, my dog chewed on this one when he was a puppy, but you can see here that these are absolutely the ones I have had the longest, and you can see how small some of them are. And again, you can also see what colors I have used the most here. I love the Polychromos, and I really like them. I have also, because World of Flowers, used them here in this book on the first pages. This one also with Polychromos. As I said, I had them for many years before I learned about Prismacolors and before I got my first Prismacolor set. And they work like a dream on the paper in Johanna Basford books. And that is why they are my favorite and my go-to coloring pencil when I color in Johanna Basford's books. And then comes Prismacolor. But these, I love them. I love Polychromos. I'm not one of those people who says I'm a Polychromos girl, because I also love a lot of my other coloring pencils, but these are the ones that I know the best. Those and the Prismacolors, the ones I have used the most, and the Prismacolors. I really just love them. And if I had to recommend buying, you know, coloring pencils, I would recommend the Polychromos as an oil-based pencil. They work just so great. Not soft and creamy and buttery, but they keep the tip very nicely when you sharpen them, and that is one of the also one of the important things here. And the colors are just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So Polychromos, you cannot go wrong with Polychromos. And now, of course, it's time for my Prismacolors here at the end of this video. Well, my Prismacolors, this is the first Prismacolor set I got, and it's actually been quite a few years ago now. So if I have to really think about it, I think that my Polychromos I got, it was at least 8 years ago, and this must be 6 or 7 years ago. I can't remember. 6 years ago. And it's just set with the butterfly and my old swatch charts. Now I usually just use my very used color family chart when I use when I look at colors when I'm going to color with them. And it's almost to the point where it's almost falling apart, so I don't know if I will have to make a new one. But my old swatch charts here, and here they are, and if I just put them down here, you can see how much they are worn out. Just the first boxes here. I have some small ones here. These are original Prismacolors from older sets. I have now, I think I have 5 or 6 pencil cases of the huge ones filled with Prismacolor pencils. Both the ones made in Mexico, but quite a lot of them actually made in the USA and some in Canada actually. So I have a lot of both newer and vintage Prismacolors, plus a lot of others. So I will make a shorter video about my vintage coloring pencils soon actually. But one of the places where I got all of these little stumps of original Prismacolors, poppy red, you can see here, cream, and this is magenta. And I still use these. I use them up, and also have a little canary yellow here and an orange here. And I haven't had any trouble with this set with the pencils breaking, except for when they reach sort of this, and this is Mexico made, this set. But when my pencils reach about this length, then they begin breaking in the tip when I sharpen them. But when they are, you know, new, they don't. I haven't had issues with them except for when they reached about this size. And I use them up to this size, and then the rest is actually thrown out, because then I can't anymore. Several of my coloring pencils here in this Prismacolor set are actually not the original ones that was in the set. This is my 3rd or 4th apple green. So you can see I use apple green a lot. This is my 3rd spring green. This is my 3rd or 4th gray green light. The same with the pale sage. And you can see my lime peel here. This is the 2nd, I think. And can also see here the powder blue. This is my 2nd or 3rd since I got them. Can also see here my blue violet and my sky blue light. This is actually the 3rd or 4th sky blue light I have used. So you can also see the colors I haven't used a lot. The silver and the gold, and colors like the henna and mahogany red, and also this nectar, and I think it's a chestnut and raspberry. I haven't used those a lot, but all of the other colors I have used. Again, vintage, Tuscan red. I think this was burnt ochre and light umber. And you can see there's no white. That's because it's here, and this is my 5th white, and this is what I have left of it, because I use them so much, and I use the light colors like gray, green light, pale sage, white, sky blue light, powder blue to blend with quite a lot actually, and not a blender pencil. This is my 4th Prussian green, and this is my 5th. This is my grass green. Is it the 1st or the 2nd? I actually think this is the 2nd grass green. So I am not kidding when I say that I use certain colors a lot. This is the cool gray, 90%. So I will just take that back with what I said about the gray colors. I use the dark gray colors for shadowing a lot in this set. The French gray, 90% is a sure shadow color with me, and also the cool gray 90%, and sometimes the warm gray 90%. This is my dark brown. I actually think this is the 2nd one. And you can do some wonderful things with the Prismacolors. And we all know they are buttery and they are creamy and they are this and that. So I will just show you what I have done with them. This one, for example, and this one. And I added a lot of other stuff. I added a lot of leaves and things down here because otherwise it's empty. I added these trees. No, I wonder if I also added that tree. But I added other trees. I added all of these, a lot of these up here. And then just use Prismacolors for the background. This one also, the background here is soft pastels, but the rest with Prismacolors. And, I think it's actually here in the very back. This one you will recognize. This was from a Christian tutorial. So I did this page myself, continued with making trees, coloring the background, and making color combinations for the rest of this page. I also did it with this one. This one is a Christian tutorial. Then I did this one myself. Added more volcanic islands, continued with the ocean, and colored this page using some of the same colors from the other side and made up new color combinations. So this is Prismacolor when it's, well, you know, the best. This was actually from one of my colored pencil comparisons, this one. Prismacolor and Luminance. I have compared these. Also this one, Prismacolors. And they don't just work here in Johanna Basford books. You can see here in Twilight Garden. This one was also done with Prismacolors. And this was done with Prismacolors. And this one, they work so great on the paper here in this book. All Prismacolors. Prismacolors again. I do think that Prismacolors are a more all-round sort of coloring pencil, and with that I mean it works in a lot of different coloring books on a lot of different types of paper, whereas the Polychromos I find works best on somewhat smoother paper. I usually actually use Prismacolors. I can use them with great results in both the paper in, well, most of my coloring books. I actually only have experienced one type of coloring book where they don't work that much. And that's in this coloring book, this Amazon paper coloring book with a dragon, where I practiced different sorts of pencil types here. I tested the Prismacolors here, and Castle Arts here, and the Polychromos here. And the Polychromos actually work better on this paper than the Prismacolors. I had to really press hard actually to get some color down, and I couldn't just layer and layer and layer. It was like the color didn't stick to the paper, if you know what I mean. And the Castle Art, they were also actually a bit difficult on this paper. But I do think that the Prismacolors they were perhaps a bit too soft on the paper here. So I'm still trying out different coloring pencils on this Amazon paper, and I'm not used to it because this is one of my first Amazon paper coloring books here. So I find that the Prismacolors really work on most sorts of papers, and then there are the smoother kinds of papers where the Polychromos are just way better, because oil-based pencils really do work better, I think, on smoother paper. But that's just my experience. Perhaps you feel differently because you have experienced otherwise. Thank you so much for watching this video with my color pencil collection, both the wax-based, oil-based, and my water-activated and watercolor pencils. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you learned something more about the different brands that I have. Please do remember that I have bought some of these pencils for review purposes mostly, and then I have begun using them. And also remember that I have bought and paid for them myself with my own money, and not been given them by companies to, give them some great reviews or anything. I have made this color pencil collection myself and paid for every single coloring pencil here, or they were given to me for my birthday or for Christmas. Please give this video a thumbs up, a like if you liked it and found it useful. Liking my videos really helps the channel and also helps the algorithm give my video out to other interested. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please consider subscribing for more videos like this. Upcoming videos on my channel, well, I certainly have more reviews coming up. Also have color and chats, and all of these color and chats are some that you vote for. Well, my subscribers vote for them. They vote for the illustrators and also sometimes the books. So upcoming is actually a Maria Trolle, and right now it's between Twilight Garden and I think it was Nightfall that most had voted for so far. So also upcoming a video with my vintage color pencil collection and also a video with my art supplies collection. What I have of, other art supplies. So stay tuned on my channel for more great content your way. Until I see you in the next video, I hope so. Take care of yourself. Have a lovely day. Happy coloring. Bye.